July 17th, 1959. What's significant about that date?
69 years ago is when Walt Disney opened.
Disneyland.
Yep. I knew something.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
There you go.
I bet you
69 years ago. Well, did I give it away with the post this morning? Okay. 69 years ago. Today on recording day. Nice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Walt.
Don't get all emotional.
I'm not. You'll be proud of me. I don't know whether to be proud of me or maybe I missed a missed opportunity when Caroline was here earlier.
Why?
Well, since there's this whole pushback about the trip in October. And
the pushback is that she wants to go home.
Well, it's okay. Yeah, that is true. It's not that she doesn't want to let us take
She's coming up
Harper.
with every reason for us not to take Harper because she wants to go. That's the real pushback.
The real pushback. Okay. All right. So I was not in the mood to lobby today, I guess, or just didn't have the energy. Today. I don't know. I think this heat has finally
caught up with you.
Caught up with me. Yeah. Today wasn't that bad out there. Yesterday was pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Today was not all that bad. We had a good breeze at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just all caught up with me. So tomorrow's supposed to rain all day, which kind of sucks. So
you'll be cleaning pools in the rain?
No,
you're off.
Off tomorrow.
You're off. So
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be like last weekend when we were in a downpour out there.
So you'll be
pools.
Well, that means you just won't be having to do yard work or paint the house or anything. You'll be.
I know,
just
but I want to paint the house. I got started on the sound side, and I'm like, man, we could really make some progress if I just.
I know.
I should have been out there. I should have been out there today.
You're too tired.
Yeah. So
you were too tired.
Anyway,
we will eventually get the house painted.
We will eventually get it painted. It's going to be primer Carolina blue for a while.
It's not like Carolina blue. It's gray.
Okay. Well,
it does not. It does not look Carolina blue to me.
It's got some blue in it. It's got some sky blue in it. Okay. All right. Let's start the show. It's the Sam
and Em
podcast, episode 29 at samwalkerobxnews.com. Find us on your favorite podcast app, YouTube, Facebook, all those places. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. We say it enough. We don't say it enough, and we need it done more. Give us
we
those
appreciate
5 stars.
those who
We
do.
appreciate everybody who does, but those of you who even are just jumping in right now and then take off, still hit the like. Still hit the share. Like, and more likes. We're brought to you by Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Caribbean Pools and Spas, CoinJock Catering Company, and CMIT Solutions of the Outer Banks. Thanks to all of our corporate champions. If you'd like to become a corporate champion, hit us up on the socials, the DMs, the email, samwalkerobxnews@gmail.com. Would love to have you on board. No matter if it's a big business, a little business, an event, whatever it is.
That's right.
Hit us up. Very, very reasonable rates.
Stop it.
What?
You're not a salesman in that regard.
No, I'm not. It's obvious, isn't it? I stink at it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing what I do. I'd be doing something else, or I'd be doing it a lot better.
You're very good at what you do.
It's a very narrow path that I'm on. Of things that I do good. The rest of it's kind of all over the place, like our brains, which we'll talk about today on the show. All right. Shout-outs?
Yes, my cousin Carrie in Ohio. As I was sitting in that traffic on Saturday morning for 2.5 hours, I'm glad no one was injured, but I was really over that whole sitting and going south.
That's why you have to be, well, that's the problem. I have the perfect visitor services job to get on the beach before sunrise, because nobody cares if you're outside their rental house at 4 or 5 in the morning.
They might
cleaning. Well, some may, and that's why I don't show up at 6 a.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday on midweeks. But Saturday, Sunday,
you need to get on home.
And for the most part, most of them are gone by the time I get to them. I mean, even like my 6 a.m. first arrivals, a lot of times are gone.
Oh.
But yeah, when you're doing the house cleaning bit, getting on the beach at 6 a.m. makes no sense unless you get lucky and have a house that's cleared.
Right.
I wish there was a way.
They do. They check out and let you know. But, I mean, they
Oh,
let someone know. But, like, we're an hour away or 45 minutes away. So.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Okay.
But anyway.
All right, back
A.D.D.
to Carrie. Yes.
My cousin Carrie, while I was sitting in that traffic, sent me a message. She was walking and exercising and listening to our podcast. Thank you, Carrie. And she said, well, now I want pizza at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning or whatever. But Carrie, when I look her up on, I mean, I didn't just look her up, but I went to her Facebook. And she says, like, under her information, it says pizza connoisseur. And it reminded me that she, I think she did this, Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, so I can shout you out next week. She did a thing, like, she went every month to a different pizza joint around Ohio and, like, the letter A. Like, she tried to do a different pizza place that had a different letter of the alphabet. And she's always posting, like, when she travels, like, she always hits up these, like, amazing pizza places. Was just in Nashville and went somewhere that looked really good, and she likes all kinds of pizzas, tries it all, the different kinds. So anyway, she enjoyed our pizza segment.
Yeah, so just flashback, we had been doing pizza like 3 straight podcast recording nights. We had pizza. And I rolled in with the Pizza Hut Chicago tavern style last week. Tonight I'm not doing pizza. I thought about it. I was like, well, I could pick up a pizza, but I was done so early today. So I could pick up pizza from Cosmos, there, Southern Shores, or Duck Pizza. Those were the 2 closest options, or Pizza Stop. We could do that with restaurants in general on the Outer Banks and on the mainland. Do an alphabetical list. Mm-hmm. It would get expensive. I'm not going to lie. It would get expensive.
The way we are. But anyway.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. That sounds like...
We just have to get the time.
Yeah, our time. Yeah, when will we do it? But that's not a bad idea. Just do it in general. Not just pizza places. I mean, the pizza places, I guess... I mean, around Columbus, is there that many pizza places? I guess?
I mean, she goes all around.
Well, that's true. She does travel, so...
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyway.
Okay. Any other shout-outs? I see one from last week's show. Amy Ennis making note about the how serious they take soccer in South America.
Oh, yeah.
Where they literally kill people.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what happened.
I didn't realize that,
Saw what happened in the Colombia-Argentina game on Sunday when all these people showed up with no tickets and rushed the gates at Hard Rock Stadium in Coral Gables. It's not in Miami. And they trashed the stadium. I'll not go too far.
No,
yeah, I know it. Whatever. It's a different culture, to say the least.
I did finish Beckham.
Yeah,
and I loved it. I loved it. Another thing about David Beckham that I learned and loved, he has OCD. He loves everything in his place. He likes everything color coordinated, certain amount of space between the hangers. Very much a clean freak. I was like, oh, you're just making me love you even more. But anyway, so I did finish it. And then Ellen Owens I had posted on Facebook, like, y'all, you need to watch this. And Ellen Owens had said, I'll have to watch it. I said, oh, girl, you'll love it. And she's like, oh, I watched all of it last night. 100%. Like, she just watched it all. Yeah. So anyway, I did finish Beckham and was very, very impressed. I think the next thing I might watch is Simone Biles had a new documentary on Netflix that drops yesterday or today. So I think that's my next one.
What's the meme that's going around right now? China talked about how they're sending 37 gymnasts, the men's gymnasts to Paris that have won a combined 37 medals. And the meme is, yeah, we call her Simone Biles. So.
I did see the Mongolian team, like their uniforms.
Oh, what they're wearing in the opening ceremony. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be impressive.
It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and of course the opening ceremonies are next week, so we will. I guess we could talk a little bit. Well, anyway, the opening ceremonies next week, and everything pointing to this is just going to be amazing because they're going to do it as a boat parade down the Seine. Mm-hmm. Of course, the mayor of Paris swam in the Seine this morning to show that it's safe for the swimming marathon and the triathlon. Mm-hmm. good luck with that. They don't have a storm drain system. It's all one system. That's the whole problem.
They keep testing it.
They keep testing it and saying, yeah, but, just go out here and swim in the sound.
So, anyway, yeah, we call it Tuesday?
Yeah, we just call it Tuesday. Go
Swimming on Tuesday. So, anyway, that's what's going on in our world when it comes to our shout-outs. You did have some, though.
I did?
Outer Bank.
Yeah. I just have those as kind of notes. All right, let's do some business. How about that? All right.
Okay.
Right. And we'll start with our pals at CoinJock Catering Company, and of course, when it comes to food, hey, CoinJock Catering Company, got to hit them up. If you're looking to elevate that next event from ordinary to extraordinary, look no further than CoinJock Catering Company. Whether it's a corporate luncheon, a wedding reception, a family reunion, holiday party, or any special occasion, CoinJock Catering Company comes to you with their on-site or drop-off services, and you can hold your special event at their waterfront venue in CoinJock. Plus, the CoinJock Catering food trucks, ready to serve their one-of-a-kind creations like the Redneck Egg Roll, Brisket Nachos, and Bang Bang Shrimp for their mobile kitchen where they pop up throughout the area. And every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the summer from 11 to 5:30 at Morris Farm Market in Barco. Now, make sure you check their social media for what the specials are. They do have a regular menu, but David really does a great job of rotating the specials around. So you never know what's going to pop up. Some unique creation. What was it? Last week was a peach cobbler egg roll. Now, I don't do peach. I don't like peaches.
I
do. Peach. I can't do that Jack Black song. Anyway, book CoinJock Catering Company for your next event or employment opportunities. Call Louie and David at 704-502-8070 and like their Facebook page again to find out their daily specials, locations, and more information.
And then thank you to Harlow Photography. Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to capture those precious family moments or celebrate the achievements of the class of 2025 with stunning senior photos. Update your family album or mark this milestone with a session that reflects your unique story. But hurry, limited slots are still available. Don't miss out on preserving these unforgettable memories. Book your session now before it's too late. Contact Harlow Photography today at sharlowphotography.com. Like Stephanie Harlow Photos on Facebook.
Yeah.
She just did this week. I think the ship came in.
The Eisenhower group came in.
Yes, I was crying. I was
literally
crying
one
looking
she
at some of her
posted.
pictures.
Yeah, the pictures, and she talked. She had tweet.
She captured just some great.
Great. Yeah, and she had mentioned about hearing somebody's kid was like right by her, and Daddy's coming home. That whole thing. It's like, yeah.
Makes me get goosebumps. They were beautiful pictures, so she really did capture that moment.
Yeah, and she does
for so many.
That's one of her specialties, of course. Her being and her husband John both being Navy. It was funny though. Today somebody had said that their photographer had canceled at the end of the month, and she jumped right in.
Yeah.
There's constantly somebody posting on socials about looking for the family photographer for the beach trip and all that stuff.
She's just a great person too. Like she's just fun. When we did it with she's great. Right. So anyway.
Let's see. And we also want to say, there it is. Yeah, I got to get the right music here. There we go. I love this. If you ever look up Big Bill Hells on YouTube, it's not safe for work. It's funny commercial. It's a parody commercial. Hey, you've asked for it. Now it's here. You can now pay for your founder status on an annual basis at samwalkerobxnews.com. A great way to show your support for me. And in return, you get a 10% discount on the monthly fee. For just $129.50, you're supporting journalism as unique as the Outer Banks. Reduce transaction fees. Help me create quality content faster and guarantee your access for the next 12 months. For existing members, just go to the Manage Memberships on Patreon and look for samwalkerobxnews.com. For new members, just go to samwalkerobxnews.com and click the Join button. But hurry, the 10% discount as a founder with annual status is only available for a limited time at samwalkerobxnews.com. I didn't hit the post. Darn. All right. So last week's show went all over the place in the middle segment.
It was horrible.
It was.
I'll be surprised if anyone's listening this week after last week.
You know, I probably could have edited, chopped that out, left the spots on around it as a donut. Nobody would have known we'd done it.
Our AD was off the roof.
A.D.D.
I said A.D.D.
You said A.D.
I said A.D.D.
Oh, you did? Oh, it sounded like one D, not two Ds.
Do not get it started this week. We're trying to redo.
I know. We're trying to realize that there's a lot that goes into getting the show ready. There's a lot that goes on in my brain when the show's going on. I will not lie that the energy level today is pretty tough, but then when you turn the mics on and the lights on and the cameras on, it's like it's a switch. It's back on. But at the same time, not having things scripted out sometimes the show goes off the rails like it did last week.
Right. And what I wanted to talk about is first let's just talk about our ADD. Yeah. So when we started this podcast, one of the things that I noticed, I listen every week before anyone else gets before the podcast is posted. Mm-hmm. I listen to it at least in the morning, just making sure everything sounds all right. You know, I listen to it. There have been a few times I'm like, Sam, I'd like you to edit this out, and he won't. So anyway, but for the most part, I listen to it. And at the beginning, it was very, very frustrating. We had never done this before. So the two of us doing this is all new. Us talking radio, advertise, all this stuff. And this is your world, and I'm stepping into it. But at the very beginning, it became very clear and was very frustrating. I could never finish really any thought without you kind of jumping in or me cutting you. Like, it just was very, very frustrating. So we talked about it. We almost went to blows once or twice over it. Or really, I did. Sam's not really that hot-headed, but I was getting frustrated. So we've done better. If you listened, we had done very bad. We have done much, much better. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but it was getting much better. Until last week. Every single sentence was almost cut off by you, by me. It just was not good. It was very difficult to listen to. I even called you I was on my way to work when I finished listening, and I was like, this is horrible. This is bad. And so I do realize I have ADD. I mean, I've never been diagnosed by a doctor, but I will 100% guarantee you I've had ADD since I was a child in school. And it's probably why I'm get as much done as I do these days. Right. You have ADD.
Oh, yeah, and it was diagnosed. I mean, it was diagnosed late in, teenage years. 15? Well, yeah. I'm trying to remember. Did I drive myself? I did drive myself to Chapel Hill.
That was in college.
When I went to the specialist over there on Rosemary Street?
We were in college.
Okay.
And actually, they said you did not have it. But the doctor said you might have it, but you have had to remember you were tested, then you took the medicine, and then you went back and were tested again. And the doctor said your test didn't change but like a point. And remember that the doctor said it is honestly probably because you have had it your whole life, mm-hmm. and you have found skills and coping skills.
I guess it was college, yeah.
That you, the point was medicine wasn't going to help you at that point.
It wasn't going to matter. And in fact, It might have a negative effect because, yes, I found a way to channel it into what I'm doing now and what I've done for the last 40 years, maybe. I mean, if you think about it, you go all the way back to starting as a freshman in high school, trying to get on the radio and all that stuff. Yeah, it probably did, and not it helped as see, there it is right there. The whole not being able to finish a thought and put it all together and get the sentence out before you go on to the next one,
right? Which
we both are very guilty of. What I was going to say was being lucky enough to be Gen X and come up through the analog age and then be thrown right into the digital age at the same time. Do you notice that chair was rolling around, by the way?
No.
backwards?
No, I just pushed it back so I could put my.
Oh.
That
okay.
was me.
All right. See, right there. But being able to learn in the digital age at a young enough age to be able to grasp it and to be able to capitalize on it, as you can see, as what I'm doing right now, which is running a TV show, a radio show, and a website at the same exact time. I wouldn't be able to do it without that, and have movies running, or live vloggers walking down through Magic Kingdom all day, or listening to a podcast while I'm doing other stuff. I've found a way to function with it, and probably to the detriment of other things. Not gonna lie, a lot of other things. Being able to there's certain tasks that I will find a way to get out of, or put off to the last minute, because I can't focus on it. And then when I get focused on something, boom, I'm 100% locked in, and then
4 hours goes by.
4 hours later. I will say this. All right, go ahead, because I have a thought about something related to that when you're dealing with this, like I've dealt with it in my life. But go ahead, because I know you're getting ready to say something.
Well, no, I just feel like it's not just your job or your career with the ADD that's affected. I think that when people look at our lives, they're always like, God, like, how do y'all get it all done? And a lot of times we don't get it all done. We come close, but we don't get it all done. But people will say to us, wow, you guys do a lot. You do a lot. You get a lot done. You're doing this, you're doing that. And I think, honestly, with both of us having ADD, I think we're able to, hey, can you get this done? I'll call, how many times through the years I call you? I need you to stop what you're doing right this second and do this. And you go back and you get it. You can go back to what you were doing, or you get frustrated and you're like, I can't finish anything. But I think for you and I, having two of us in the same situation, we've actually been able to accomplish a lot. We've been able to get our kids where they needed to go. We've been able to do, we've been able to, I can plan Disney trips here. You can plan Disney trips there. I'm like, hey, wait, I forgot to do these reservations. Like, I just think that we are flexible in the sense that with our ADD, we have gotten to a point where we'll stop what we're doing, go down this rabbit hole, come back, go here. It's not perfect by any means. There's a lot of things that get sidestepped. A lot of things get missed. But I do think that we have made it work to our benefit, like, for the most part.
Yeah. Doug, we are Doug from Up. Squirrel. I mean, it truly is how we are. And how, like you said, we've been able to find a way over the last 30, almost, it'll be how many years? 33 years and a month and a half that we've been together. And
2.5.
month and a half.
Oh, I thought you were going by our wedding anniversary.
No, I'm going, no. No, because that would be
29.
33 coming up in September. That we've been able to tag team this whole thing over the last 33 years in one way or another to get it done, or get most of it done. Some of it doesn't get done. I mean, everybody has that. But to be able to get up at 5 a.m, go clean pools all day, be monitoring social media and the emails at the same time, stopping everything and writing a story about a breaking story, or listening to a commissioner's meeting on YouTube while I'm doing something else, and then coming home and writing the content that we put out at samwalkerobxnews.com. When I was doing the radio thing, doing that. When I fill in for my buddy Ed on those 8 radio groups around the country. Got to do that next Thursday, by the way. And, to do it that too. Without the ADD, it wouldn't happen.
And even at my job, I think my staff, I'll tell them yesterday was just a horrendous day at work anyway, because of an incident that happened. But like, I kept telling them all day long, I'm like, my ADD is in high gear. Like, I cannot focus on one thing and seem to get it finished. But through the years, it's definitely benefited me. There's an issue. I'm working at my computer, but I hear someone complaining, or I hear maybe a possible issue coming up at the register or at the drop-off window. And I'm pretty much able to swoop in, try to fix it, and make sure that the patient is taken care of before we have a problem. Or I'm like, oh, hold on, let me see, let me take care of this. Or yesterday I was giving 2 shots, and you and Mom had come by. We had the police there. I mean, it was a lot going on. And I really think if I didn't have ADD or have the skills I've coped with through the years, I'm not sure I wouldn't have just laid down on the floor and cried and been like, that's it, I'm done. So, I mean, I do think in my career and in my home life, it has definitely, I've made it work. Because when we were growing up, it was called hyperactivity. They're just hyperactive.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, Mom and Dad went to my kindergarten conference. And, kindergarten, they have little tiny chairs for people.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was 6 foot, 200 some pound, big guy. And he was an electrical engineer. And Mom and him go in, and the teacher's like, have a seat. And, of course, that little chair was not going to work. But Mrs. Varner started talking to them and and Dad got up, and kindergarten, they got a lot of little stations everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess she had maybe a typewriter or something, and my dad was over playing on the typewriter, and Mrs. Varner said, well, Emily sometimes gets up and walks around while I'm teaching, or Emily goes to stations when it's not time to go to stations. And she looked over at my dad and then at my mom and said, but I guess I see where she might get that from, and then just went on. But I mean, I've always just been that person, and, I've had to figure out.
I was going to say, you mentioned something about, hey, let me come over and take care of this. That is one thing that I'm probably, both of us, and it probably comes from the ADD, but both of us are kind of a bit of control freaks, meaning rather than being able to, I have a hard time explaining how to do something to someone. I would have interns or job shadows and things like that, and part of it you've got work you've got to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, daily basis radio station, you've got stuff you got to get done, and then you've got someone looking over your shoulder watching, and then you feel an obligation to at least try to show them, especially when you have an intern. I never really had a traditional intern that was a college 3 months, the whole thing, where you could just basically turn them into the prize patrol and send them to go get everybody's lunch and that stuff. There wasn't that. We didn't have that nature at the stations, so it was, hey, let me show them something that they could possibly learn. Try to teach them how to do something. And then I never was very good at that, because it was just like I just blitzed right through it. Or in the case of somebody say, hey, can you come? And it's like, or you have a computer problem, and I'm over your shoulder trying to show you, and this and I was like, get up and let me get in front of the computer and do this. It's the same thing. That's part of that is the ADD. Part of that's just you wouldn't think it as chaotic as our lives are and as disorganized as we truly are when you look at a lot of stuff that we do, and a lot of stuff that when you look at the garage, or you look in our truck and cars, or all that stuff. But there's a system. We have a system. We all have a system. But we are a little bit of control freak. We want things a certain way, and it's easier for just us to do it than try to explain to somebody else how to do it. And
I love organization, and I love spending the time getting it, but then to continue to follow through to keep it that way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me just I love it when we clean out the garage. I know it sounds crazy, but I love it because you have that mess.
Good, go do it right now. Please.
And then we have it organized, and then it's 6 months later, I'm like, well, how the heck did this happen again? Or the other thing that I think that you and I do, or I know I do, I'm a note person. Yes. I'm a checklist person.
Right.
And we've had this conversation before. I can't do it on the phone. You do. That works for you. Although I think if you would listen to me, I think you might do better on some things if you write it.
Look around. Look.
Yeah.
When we started the show, I was so ingrained in doing everything on the computer because that's how I'd done it for so long, because I didn't want to. Well, part of it was we couldn't afford to print things out. We'd run out of ink and paper at the radio stations, so you had to be cheap and have to keep everything. But I liked everything digital.
Yeah.
And now, what am I doing? I'm printing things off every week. My checklist for my pulls, I tried to do it on my phone to start with. Part of it was it would come to me so disorganized, I would have to rewrite it every day, and then it just got to a pain. It's like, let me just print it, write the numbers of them in a different color, 4-color pen, the Woody Durham pens. Thank you very much, because I do one color for the numbers and then check them off as I go. Now they're coming to me in order. Of course, they're coming to me on north to south instead of south to north, because I work from south to north. So that's a little... I'm having to go up the page instead of down. That's a little aggravating. Or not aggravating. That goes into the whole... there's a little bit of OCD on that. But yes, I've evolved. And you're right. Yeah, printing it out, writing it down. But my handwriting is so bad.
So that's Sam's show prep.
Yeah.
That's my show prep.
Right. Yeah, she's got it handwritten in a notebook. Now, I print out what I type and give to her.
Yeah.
So we kind of are sort of on the same page.
So, so I do think that last week was like, so I apologize for how disoriented we were. I will say that well, he's not here to get mad at us, so I'll just talk about Jonathan, his ADD, and
yeah.
It was different. Like, we knew it, but like he would like his school papers were always, he never turned them in. They were at the bottom of his backpack. They were at the bottom of his locker. They were everywhere. There's no organization. It didn't work for him. And I think that's one of the reasons Fork Union did work for him.
Right.
It gave him that structure, and it was just a one subject plan. I mean, 8th grade was not. It was a normal, you had multiple subjects at one time. But once you start high school at Fork Union, it's 6 weeks, I think, of only English all day long.
Yeah.
And so it's not as much paperwork to keep up with. It's
Right.
not as much. And granted, I'm sure nowadays it's not as much. I mean, it's got to be easier for kids with ADD now, because all you have to do is hit send, right? You just have to hit send on your assignments or whatever. I would think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Still not getting done.
I, to this day, feel horrendous I would sit at the dining room table on Skipper's and I would scream, like my veins would be popping. I'm like, why? He's so smart, but like you're failing because you won't turn this in or you won't do that. And he's hyperventilating, he's crying, and I'm giving it anxiety. I mean, I was horrible, Mom, y'all. I was horrible about this and giving him anxiety attacks. So finally, that was one of the things when we went to Fork Union. Fork Union was like, he's been accepted, but unfortunately there are consequences for every action here. And if a child, and they had God, I can't think of his name. They had a
counselor that he was up in
Dr. Hensley
up in Harrisonburg,
Virginia, who drove down once a week, and he worked with these boys. Like, so they had therapy or, sessions or whatever. But Dr. Hensley he kind of specialized in military schools. So there was a military school out in Wisconsin. There was a military school in Pennsylvania, and Fork Union are the three that he kind of worked with.
Valley Forge was in Pennsylvania. And the one in Wisconsin is where Jim Lovell's kid was when he was on Apollo 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, side note.
Yeah.
But he, Dr. Hensley, Fork Union made you go see Dr. Hensley, and it was like an all-day testing thing, because they wanted to make sure that he was able to handle the consequences for his impulsivity, for his didn't turn in your assignment. Like, there are some kids that's just not an environment that was going to work on, and they wanted to make sure that he was of the right mentality or whatever to do it. So you go, and I think it was like back then it was like still like $1,400 assessment we had to do. I mean, we had to spend a night there. Mom and I went with Jonathan. And I will never forget this. We drop Jonathan off. He's tested for 4 hours. We go to lunch. We come back, and Mom and I go in and we get the assessment. Now, Jonathan had skipped his very last day of 7th grade. So that was his last day of 7th grade. And we had some pretty big doozies of yelling, screaming, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you do this type of stuff in the last month or so, 2 months before school ended? So here he is finishing 7th grade. We sit at Dr. Hensley's desk, Mom and I, and he said, Dr. Hensley said, well, your son has tested on 11th grade, 12th grade. Everything was either 11th grade or 12th grade level for math, reading, all of that stuff.
As a 7th grader.
Rising 8th grader.
Right.
But so his intelligence was not bad at all. But he said to me then, he said, your son's ADD is like you have thrown him in the deep end of a swimming pool with 50-pound weights on each foot, and he cannot swim. He is drowning. And I burst into tears. I just started crying, and he's like, why are you crying? And I mean, Jonathan had been on medicine. We've been doing medicine since third grade. We'd done everything. And I said, well, I feel bad. I've just yelled at my son. I mean, you do not know what we've been through night after night, all this stuff. And he said, listen, I can't tell you how my parents would want to be sitting in your shoes right now, because their 7th graders ADD is just as bad, but those parents were burned out. He didn't say they're bad parents or anything. He just said those parents and teachers were burned out. They stopped fighting it. And those kids get onto everything else. Xboxes. They get into other things. At the time it was because, and he explained it, it's the quickness. And that's why I think I can get on TikTok for hours on time, because it's like 2 minutes, move on, 2 minutes to move on. And that's what video games were before. Well, lucky for us, our kids didn't really like video games, and they like to be outside in the middle of a hurricane playing lacrosse. But, they were always doing that. But I never, ever thought about like being on that other side where, like, he just said, because you push so hard, your son, he hasn't lost. Like, you're not having to send him to Fork Union to also be gaining academics.
Right.
And so that was a lot for me to swallow as a parent, because I felt really, really bad. And then later when Jonathan he took medicine and did it. And look, y'all, he did 696 tours before he was done. The kid still had ADD, don't get me wrong, even with his medicine, but and his impulsivity. But he wanted to stop the medicine because he wanted to go in the military. And he would tell me, he was like, Mom, I don't like taking the medicine because I don't like how it makes me feel. And just yesterday at work, I made the comment when I said my ADD is out of control today. I said, maybe I need to look into medicine. And someone said, please don't. It will take away your sunshine. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, my little brother's 13 going through this. And she said, he says all the time, it takes me away. It takes away my sunshine. So there is a point where it's kind of, and I was like, wow, that's what Jonathan was talking about. Yep. Right. So y'all, I'll be your most sunshiny ADD pharmacist you've ever had. But I just think it's important to realize that there obviously are behavioral things you can do. There's medicine you can do. You and I just need to focus on each other a little bit more and not cut each other off when we're recording, at least. But,
Yeah, it's hard because I'll hear you will go through a sentence and not finish the sentence and go on to the next one. And I'm like, I try to catch that because, yes, if you're a listener and when those happen, it is, and that's what happened last week. And then me jumping in like I do, part of it is because, hey, there's always some funny comment or something I want to throw in because, hey, it would fit what I think would be funny or adds to, or in my case, too detailed because it gets too detailed because that's what I do. And realize, again, economy of words, try to tell the story with as few words as possible because people don't have time to read it or listen to it. But at the same time, I want you to finish what you're saying. Well, so, and I am just as bad with it as well. I'm not going to lie when I'm doing things off script.
So to move on, last week's discussion, we had talked beforehand. You were kind of like offended for women, and you were offended about for Penelope.
Yeah, it was in the Bridgerton thing. Do we want to do that after do we want to go into that?
I just want to, it ties to this. Okay. So we can go and we can straighten it out after this, but it ties to the ADD. Yeah. So when listening to it, you had in your head, we had talked about the inequality of big women with little men versus
or hot guys and right
versus big guys with hot girls. Like we had you were very like worked up about it, but you kept wanting in your head, you wanted to this is how after listening I think it was in your head you kept wanting it to tie it to you and I and our weight loss and how weight loss, and you wanted to keep tying it, and you just it was like we had a string that never cohesively had a conversation.
It's like trying to untangle a water hose or an extension cord.
Or that spaghetti when there's a hurricane coming and everyone's like, oh, we followed this model, and someone's
spaghetti
like,
models.
or you just throw the spaghetti out there.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of felt. So anyway, we'll do our break and then we'll come back and we will get that straight.
Okay. All right. And we'll do that after this.
Nothing beats a day at the beach, but the power of the ocean deserves everyone's respect. So if you plan on going for a swim when the surf is rough,
why risk it? When in doubt, just stay out.
But if you do decide to take a dip,
warning flags are flying for a reason. Listen to the lifeguards. Stay out.
Hey ladies, if you're an experienced swimmer and think you can safely handle the surf,
even the most experienced swimmers can get caught in a rip current and swept out to sea. Stay on the shoreline.
if the waves are rough, be sure to take a flotation device, such as a raft or a bodyboard.
Rafting boards aren't designed to save your life. If the surf is rough, just play it safe and stay out.
Well, there you have it. Make sure your Outer Banks vacation is a memorable one for all the right reasons.
Know before you go by checking the daily OBX beach conditions forecasts. Watch for rip current warnings and listen to the lifeguard. When the red flags are flying, stay safe by staying on the beach and out of the water.
Live like a local and love the beach, respect the ocean.
All right, and thanks to Miles Carpet Cleaning. Summertime means fun time, in and out of the house all the time, and your carpets, rugs, and upholstery are starting to show it. Call Miles Carpet Cleaning and get it all looking and smelling fresh like a summer morning. Serving Currituck and the Outer Banks, the Miles Carpet Cleaning family has been cleaning things up on both sides of the water for the last 8 years. Their $99 special cannot be beat. Get 3 rooms and a hallway clean to perfection, including an orange scent carpet deodorizer and Scotch Guard for just $99 from Miles Carpet Cleaning. Call now, 252-207-6707. Find more great offers by following Miles Carpet Cleaning on Facebook. Robert Miles and his family will take care of you like you're one of the family. Forget the rest. Call the best. Miles Carpet Cleaning, 252-207-6707. That's 252-207-6707.
Ready to dive into something new? Caribbean Pools and Spas, the official pool and spa service company of the Sam & M podcast, is now hiring service professionals for the 2024 season and beyond. Caribbean Pools and Spas is looking for dedicated individuals who enjoy being outdoors and want to create unforgettable experiences for our customers. With outstanding pay, instant incentives, flexible weekly schedules, hands-on training, and full support from the great Caribbean Pools and Spas management team that'll back you up. Routes are available right now from Corolla to South Nags Head and everywhere in between. Call today, 252-480-2900. That's 252-480-2900. Or drop an email to alex@caribbeanobx.com. That's alex@caribbeanobx.com. Whether you're an experienced pro or just starting out, Caribbean is the best pool and spa service company to work for on the Outer Banks. I should know. I work for them too and love it. Join our team and make a splash with the official pool and spa service company of the Sam & M podcast, Caribbean Pools and Spas.
All right. So
All right,
let's
so-
just quickly redo last week because I really
Okay.
do want to do the arrows thing a little bit.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about there was a column in Forbes. It was written by someone who is an advocate, but she was pointing out several social media posts, videos, other columns had been written criticizing Bridgerton for having a larger woman in a relationship with the hot guy of the show. And last week, we had talked about how that's the reverse angle is so common in everything, from TV shows and movies to now social media to sports, especially. I mean, how many of the linemen all have hot women? You know, that whole thing, and it's accepted. But it's not accepted when the gender roles reversed, and that pisses me off, and it always has. Mm-hmm. And so we were trying to tie it in to our relationship in some way or another, and I totally botched that last week. So how you figured it out, what I was trying to say, I think you've untangled the extension cord and the water hose, thankfully.
No, I was just so that was you have always been an advocate or spoken loudly about those inadequacies. So that being the inadequacy of it not being fair, like it not being, you have always been, that's nothing new for you at all. And I think we kind of were just talking about the fact that, well, now I can't even think. So now you look out there, like you said, I hadn't even thought about that. You're right. There's so many linemen out there or athletes.
That's the one. It's always like the linemen are always, how did they get the hot girl? How did they get the hot girl? How did they get the hot girl? Well, I mean, part of it might. Yeah. It just, there's so many people out here who look beyond outward appearance. Or in some cases are attracted to it. I mean, not gonna lie, there's that attraction to it. And it's just that because of the nature of pop culture and society in general, and whether it's the bullying mentality, whether it's the not comfortable with it, the growth, whatever, some people can't overcome seeing that and criticizing it.
That's right. But I also would be somewhat offended if I was the hot person that someone thinks I'm shallow enough or that they are questioning my attraction to somebody. Like, who are we to say who's attracted to what, right? I mean, exactly. Lord, as you always say, there's a category, you know? I mean, that's your answer. So anyway, we don't really need to go into it in depth. But then we were trying to or you were really trying to kind of move it over to us and what's going on. So instead of comparing it, there's just I don't feel like there's a comparison for you and I in that situation.
No, I do think that there might be some outward appearance that because of what we've done to alter our physical appearance in some way, now it's like, oh, we want to shy away from it. No.
We want to shy away from what?
Not shy away from it. That, all the time, whether we're focusing on it so much or that it's putting a negative light on people who are unable to overcome their weight issues, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's financial. Mm-hmm. That we've been lucky enough to have tools available to us to alter our appearance. And that's what we've done. I mean, if you think about it, but we did it not because for the physical look of it. We did it because of the health benefits for us personally. Because there are people who can go through lives at 300 pounds and not have issues. It's rare, right, but it can be done. It's rare. Statistically, it says, no, it's not a good idea to be, 70 pounds overweight right. And, constantly consuming and being sedentary, which this, for all this time I always said it was hard because it's what I do. I sit in front of a computer all day. I sit in front of a board all day. Hey, I've got a slight case of tinnitus because what do? I wear headphones all the time and I've got everything jacked up because, if it's too loud, you're too old.
I'm way too old then.
So, but the one thing was bringing that up and then, saying it's not fair what society has done to those of us who battled weight our entire lives. And we've got friends who have not. I mean, one who's a very dedicated podcast listener who, man, I saw him the other day. David Garrington, looked great. Mm-hmm. Holy cow. I hadn't seen him in a while, and it was like, man, and he made a lifestyle choice, a lifestyle decision for the betterment for him and his kids, and the whole thing. But to criticize what the outward appearance, the fat phobia that goes on in our pop culture, and specifically in the pop culture, that's where it comes from. That's upsetting. But at the same time, don't want to sound like a hypocrite because y'all lost all this weight, and now y'all are talking about everybody should be losing weight, but you still have no problem with no, because hey, to each his own, and it's if that's what you love, that's what you love. But it shouldn't be because everybody's making fun of it. It should be to make yourself better.
Right.
Still
and you should be no.
I'm still not making sense, Ellen.
No, you are. I just think that it is. I have said this since this journey, and for those who don't know, my journey is it's a twofold medical intervention on my weight loss. I mean, I had the gastric sleeve and lost 120, 130 pounds doing that. I lost 50 pounds before and then 100 and some after. And then, did very well with that until Jonathan passed, and then depression and eating and all that, and gained 40, 50 pounds and then couldn't get it back. So then I went on to the GLP-1.
Because you were pre-diabetic.
Well, I was,
yes.
But I was also hitting 50 in the hormone. I mean, there was a lot to it. I mean, I really was trying to do everything like I was supposed to with my sleeve, and it just was not happening. And I had hit the point on my sleeve where they had said, Dr. Wogelmuth, my surgeon, had said, hey, listen, we're finding that when he did my surgery, he said, we're finding that at 5 to 7 years, we do a revision. Most people, this isn't going to last you your whole life. We do a revision.
Yeah,
so now the revision for me is I'm due Mounjaro now, but I started off with Saxenda, went to Ozempic, and then Mounjaro. But I have said this in this whole journey that I wish I could go back and love little Emily Jane when she was in first grade, second grade, all the way through all these years of my life, and be like, it does not matter what your size is. You are you, love you. And so my whole thing through this is, if anyone talks to me, asks me whatever, if they want my advice or they want to know how I lost my weight, none of it is a secret. I'm very open book about it. But my advice is to every single person, whether you are big or small or in between, love yourself in the moment that you are right now. Right. If you want to get smaller or you want to get bigger or you want to stay the same, love yourself how you are and be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on yourself because it is not an easy process. It is a life. It is literally a life. You have to change your life. It's not just about, I'm going to do this fad diet here, I'm going to do this. Right. Like it is life. It's your life change. So that's what I would say for that right now. I would say right now though, for us, like if then bringing it forward to this week, you've been really fighting your nausea off after we're back on the same week of doing our shots. So,
so I'd gone to every other week and found myself in a situation where second week I was starting to. Now, was I gaining a lot of weight? No. I mean, I'm fluctuating, in a place that is like, I don't know if I want to get there. So I did that and coincide that with the working in the hot dog cooker all week, early in the week didn't help. So I'm just feeling like, man, I shouldn't have done that. But then it's like, no. And part of the reason that I did it was two things. One, I wanted to get in better shape for lacrosse. And I was enjoying being able to do these running events with you, and I felt like I would be in a better spot to do it. And at the same time, the benefits of not being as, not carrying as much weight and what it was doing, to all the other health stuff that was, starting to crop up or could potentially crop up. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so the one thing I think that we both have gotten, it for me right now, this time of year is easier for me food wise because I love like the fresh fruits, the fresh vegetables. Like I love the farm stands. Like this right now is the time of year for me that's not really hard for me. Yeah. Well, Harvey's corn, Robert's corn is amazing this year. But anyway, it is every year. But anyway, so for me right now, the eating part is a little bit better. But this heat and all, I have not been running, and I've got a half marathon in 2 weeks that I'm probably gonna
Oh, that's right, you do. Where is it?
Connecticut. So anyway,
yeah.
I need to get out and suck it up and get a couple of long runs in the next 2 weeks. So at least I'm not like, oh my God, I haven't run since May, or June. But anyway, so we have kind of slacked on and we have a 10-miler in just
6 weeks.
5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
So we do need to get back to our training.
Yeah, I need to get out and run after I get done with pulls, but it's been impossible because of this weather. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
props,
not safe. It's not
It's
safe.
not safe. I mean, props to the folks that I see out doing it in the mornings when I'm driving into Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but I see how much there's when I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to do that, and I'm not even running. I'm just, doing walking and carrying and, ups and downs. But I'm, soaking wet after House 2, and I'm seeing them run up down Duck Trail and along Highway 12. And it's like, man, yeah, I want to go do this after I get done, but I just know I can't because it would be dangerous. Maybe with this rain coming, maybe I can get some of those in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at 55. So do we have time to do it?
No,
No.
we don't.
All right. We're going to do it next week. Put it on. That is what we're going to talk about, this eras discussion that you've come up with. So
Everyone think about what era in life you're in.
okay. Yeah. All right.
Send me some messages.
All right. So final thing on that. I do have a house that has one of those outdoor Jengas that they just took like blocks of wood and created a Jenga thing. So you remember I did the one that said, what did I say? Welcome to OBX. That I did on the table. And I took all the words. So I did one. It said, your OBX era. I just thought I'd do it. It was still there today when I went by, and the folks were sitting out by the pool. They're from Detroit, so I don't think they got it. I don't think they noticed it. So I'm gonna just stack it back up as a regular Jenga and leave it alone because no one seems to be getting it, or I haven't seen it on
No one gets
socials.
your humor. I can't imagine.
There's a surprise. All right. Well, hey, speaking of humor and some fun things to do, one of those fun things to do is coming up here real soon. And that, of course, is the Roper Romp.
The Roper Romp. Come and knock on our door at the first Roper Romp through downtown Elizabeth City or Saturday, August 10th from 2 to 5, benefiting the Kelsey's Hope Foundation. Enjoy the downtown breweries and local establishments as we dress up as Mrs. Roper or any character from Three's Company. Romp around Elizabeth City and enjoy your favorite beverages. No ticket needed. Find the QR codes that will be posted at all the downtown sites to make your donation to Kelsey's Hope, providing hope to families that have children suffering from cancer by offering support for trips and gifts that might otherwise be unattainable. Dedicated to raising awareness and funds to support childhood cancer research and support the education of healthcare providers with an annual nursing scholarship. For more details, search the Kelsey's Hope Roper Romp event page on Facebook.
All right. So you didn't even comment on the link I sent you. I think I found my costume.
Oh, when did you send it?
It's in Messenger, but it's the Jack's Bistro T-shirt on the Super 70s Sports store. Super 70s Sports is a pretty funny account on Twitter and now TikTok.
Are you sure you sent it to me?
I sent it to you. You're going to scroll back. You scroll back a couple of days. Yeah. Anyway, I think I found it. It's a Jack's Bistro T-shirt.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I ordered.
Do that with the OP shorts, and I'm good to go.
There you go.
All right.
Well, I ordered my Mrs.
Did you get the
Roper
wig?
wig.
Okay.
I ordered it yesterday on Prime. It was on sale. It should be here by Friday.
Okay.
And the jewels.
And the jewels. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to
So
find the OP shorts, and then I'll be good to go. So, all right. Also want to say
your legs are gonna look so funny.
Yeah, because with this tan I got,
I think
ready
I
to go.
might just wear regular shorts. You will look so funny.
Yeah, with the 7-inch shorts would not work with the 10-inch tan. Yeah, you're right. All right,
Just wear
hey,
a shirt.
okay, thanks to CMIT of the Outer Banks. When it comes to managing your business, it's important to have the right technology. That's why CMIT works to help businesses. Short for Completely Managed Information Technology, CMIT offers everything a business needs. Their services include tech support, computer and server security, cloud backup, secure Wi-Fi, business phones, and more. With CMIT's help, your technology will stay up and running. For more information, go to CMITOBX.com. No major Disney news to report. The Country Bear Musical Jamboree opened to the public today, and they're doing a single rider test of Rise of the Resistance. but you walk right into the hangar. You don't do the pre-show with Ray. You don't do the shuttlecraft, which I kind of like the shuttlecraft thing. I think that's pretty cool, just getting that part. And because the reveal, you just walk right into the Star Destroyer hangar.
Is there a height limit on that ride?
I don't think so. We need to check that. I don't think Harper's going to be able to ride it. I'm pretty sure Harper's not, and I don't think Waylon will be able to either.
But they could ride the mouse.
True.
Ratatouille.
They
Okay,
could do Ratatouille.
And
yeah,
it was
they
not
could
a mouse; it was a rat. But anyway,
they could do Ratatouille.
Right? Didn't Waylon do Ratatouille? We did Ratatouille when we went before.
I think we did. Yeah, we need to check. I don't know. The one thing about it, they do a pretty good job of most early attractions. Don't really have height restrictions.
We've done so good on keeping our AD under control.
All right. Let's go for a run. Let us go the distance here. Let's see. You start.
Race on the runway, Saturday, October 5th at the Currituck Airport. Catered to all ages and fitness levels. The adrenaline-packed schedule includes Tarmac 10K race starting at 8:30 a.m., First Flight 5K race beginning at 9 a.m. That is very loud.
I'm trying to fade it out.
The Taxi Trot 1 mile fun run starting at 10 a.m. Part of the Currituck Plains and Plows event and Currituck Sheriff's Community Night Out. Details at samwalkerobxnews.com.
We've got OBX Running Company with their 5Ks and 1 milers winding down the Lighthouse, which goes on every Wednesday at 8 a.m. through September 11th at the Whalehead Club in Corolla. You got the beach runs. Only 3 of those left. The next one is on Thursday, the 25th, at the Epstein Beach Access in Nags Head. Village Nags Head every Thursday. Their next one is the Village Nags Head. Next one is Thursday, the 15th at 8 a.m. behind Outer Banks Mall. The Kennekeet Shores in Avon, they have theirs every Friday through August 9th at 8 a.m. at Sun Realty in Avon. This is the one.
Oh.
I want to do this, but man, that sounds like a chafing waiting to happen. The H2 OBX Dash and Splash. It's going to be Sunday, August 4th, starts at 8 a.m. It is a 2-mile run inside and outside the water park, including a 1/4 mile through the Lazy River. Now, it's limited to 100 participants. What do you think?
I'll be on my way back from
Connecticut. Yeah. TheOBXRunningCompany.com.
It's my
to
dad's
sign up
birthday.
for that one. Yeah, that's right.
All right, Outer Banks sporting events. Outer Banks Triathlon, Saturday, September 14th. Old Swimming Hole at Manio Airport in Fort Raleigh National Historic Site. Sprint and Olympic, plus relays and aquabike in both distances. Another round, 25K, Saturday, October 19th. Jockey's Ridge State Park trail run, including some of the dune. Run a 5K loop per hour. Teams of 2 can do it. One runs 15K and the other runs 10K. Town Bank Outer Banks Marathon and Half Marathon, November 8th to 10th, and that's at obxse.com.
And Barrier Island Group still hasn't announced their upcoming events yet. Find out more. Keep an eye on barrierislandgroup.com for what they got going on. All right, and what else is going on at samwalkerobxnews.com at the Lost Colony? Every night except Sunday, 8:30 p.m. showtime through August 24th at the Waterside Theater at Fort Raleigh National Historic Site on Roanoke Island.
2024 Mariners Wharf Film Festival, downtown Elizabeth City, each Tuesday in June and July.
The weekly Avon Farmers Market, those are going on every Tuesday through September 10th.
The town of Kill Devil Hills, First Flight Farmers Markets at Aviation Park every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. through August 13th.
Join the Corolla Wild Horse Fund every Wednesday this summer for Mustang Mornings at the farm. That's at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Betsy Dowdy Equine Center, located at 102 Young Rider Lane in Grandy.
The Tri-Villages Market at Camp Hatteras Campground in Waves on Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. through September 25th.
The Soundside Summer Markets, those are going on at the Soundside Event Site in Nags Head every Wednesday from 9 to 1 through August the 14th.
Corolla Cork and Craft, Wednesday evenings at the Whalehead Club through September 11th.
And you got the Acoustic Sunset Wind Down with live music and food trucks every Thursday through September 26th at Sanctuary Vineyards. Proceeds benefiting a variety of nonprofit organizations. They've been kicking it the last couple of them over to the Corolla Wild Horse Fund to help with all the medical bills they've been having to deal with recently.
We went last week. We had fun.
We did.
Dowdy Park Farmers Market in Nags Head each Thursday through August 29th.
The Corova Beach Volunteer Fire and Rescue, they have the 4th annual Donkey Derby. It's a family-friendly, silly fundraiser. That's this Friday, So those of you listening to this short tale on this for that event, it's at 3 o'clock, rain or shine, at the fire station in Corova Beach.
All right. Dare County Parks and Recreation Department, first family fun in the park block party along Mustang Street in Kill Devil Hills on Friday, July 19th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. This free event will feature a cookout, games, scavenger hunts, and work vehicle displays, among other activities.
And with the rain forecast, hopefully they're going to be able to do that. That's the only thing that stinks. Theater Dare presenting their first ever summer show, celebrating Christmas in July with every Christmas story ever told and then some. Wednesday nights, that'll be wrapping up here on the 24th and the 31st at 7:30 at the Theater of Dare in Kitty Hawk. And their Summer Shakespeare series is coming in August. And I'll have more details about that coming up here soon.
Here comes Carolina again. And no, they won't be taking the ferry from Chapel Hill. You got to let that go.
Never. We will never let the Pate brothers forget that.
Members of the University of North Carolina men's basketball team will be returning to the Outer Banks for what has become an annual summertime event. The Tar Heels are scheduled to appear at a meet and greet on Friday, July 26th at the Youth Center at Family Recreation Park in Kill Devil Hills from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Admission is $65 per person for all ages and includes an autograph session with players and coaches and catered meal as well.
And you hit up, we got the link on how you can pay for those tickets at samwalkerobxnews.com. Hit up Johnny Tillett for those. Looking forward to that, and then they'll get to stay on the beach. The guys will be on the beach again. I'll get that. My understanding, I'll get that picture of the bus in Currituck again. My understanding. St. John's United Methodist Church in Avon's hosting a community bazaar on Thursday, August 1st. Starts at 7 a.m. through 2 p.m. Day-long event featuring kids' activities, music, homemade meals for breakfast and lunch, and more.
The event schedule is set for the annual Ocracoke Fig Festival, Friday, August 2nd and Saturday, August 3rd.
Pretty big lineup again this year for that. We'll have the details for you this weekend. First Flight Society's announced a series of free celebrations for National Aviation Day. That takes place on Monday, August 19th. Of course, that is the date of Orville and Catherine Wright's birthdays. There'll be events at the Dare County Regional Airport and Wright Brothers National Memorial. So that's what's going on. All right. I guess that's it. That's it for the show.
All right.
Made it through another one. It's been episode 29. Thanks to our corporate champions, Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Caribbean Pools and Spas, CoinJock Catering Company, and CMIT Solutions of the Outer Banks. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, and share. We should say that more during the show. Find us on your favorite podcast app, of course, here on the YouTube and on Facebook. And give us the 5 stars. Interact with us. Give us your thoughts, topics for future episodes. We always want to get your shout-outs because we love talking about what you're thinking about the show and what you've got to weigh in with as well. You can do that with DMs on the socials, comments on the videos, and on the on your apps. And, of course, hit us with an email at samwalkerobxnews@gmail.com. If you got something you want to add to our look at what's happening, we love to have that stuff as well. All right? Okay?
Good episode.
We didn't do too bad. We didn't step on each other that much. Okay. You don't think we did?
I won't yell at you tonight.
Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. We will see you next time here on the Sam
And them.
podcast. Bye.
Bye, everybody.